Hi, my name's Jodie and welcome back to a new video. So today we have my October reset, which I am so excited to do because I have not filmed a reset video in so long, and October is one of my favourite months of the year because of course it is autumn, it is spooky season, and it's also the month that Vampathon happens, which I am just looking forward to so much. So we'll get into what Vampathon is about in a moment, but basically I want to talk you guys through what I'm planning to do in this reset. So because it is October and it is my favourite time of the year, we are going to go and do a little bit of book shopping. Now I'm limiting how much I'm buying at the moment, but this happened. I somehow pre-ordered this book twice, so we're going to go and exchange one of these copies for another spooky read. I have a couple of books in mind that I would like to pick up. I want to get Lucy Undying, and I also want, I can't remember what the other one's called, but I know Waterstones doesn't have it, so I might try and go to another place to see if they have it. But there are two books that I would love to pick up. So we are going to do some book shopping in this video, and then I will do a little haul if I do manage to find any spooky books. We're also going to do some more decorating for Halloween. Now I do already have most of my decorations out, but there are like a few things that I do want to hang up. I have these little like paper bats I want to hang up, and I also want to make these like little felt bats and ghosts. I've bought the stuff for it, I just need to make them. So we might make some felt bunting in this video as well, which will be a lot of fun. Then of course I will be talking you guys through my TBR and all of the books I'm planning to read in October. I have filmed a separate TBR video for Vampathon, so I will link that up here and in the description box if you did want to check that out, which does lead me on to telling you guys what Vampathon is. If you aren't familiar, I'll keep this super short. So Vampathon is essentially a week-long readathon I host every single year during the last week of October. It's a readathon to celebrate all things spooky and Halloween, and we just read like lots of books together. So it's taking place from the 26th to the 31st of October. I will link the announcement video down below as well if you did want to check it out. So yeah, my TBR for Vampathon is in a separate video. I'll just be talking about buddy reads, books I want to continue in October, and just some books I'm thinking of potentially just picking up before Vampathon. And then I also want to make a like fall autumn like movie TV show list that I want to watch, so like a watch list basically. So I think I'm going to create that in Canva, and then I do also want to do some journaling because I recently did set up a reading journal again, and I want to make like a little October spread in that, so we should hopefully be doing that in this video as well. But that is all the plans. So book shopping, maybe a little book haul, decorating for Halloween, maybe making the felt bunting, talking through my TBR, doing some journaling, and creating a little like Canva watch list. So those are the things I'm hoping to get done during this reset. I'm really looking forward to it. So I guess let's start with the book shopping. So books have been acquired. I only purchased 3. Like I didn't do anywhere near as much damage as I thought I was going to do. So I did exchange one of my books, and then I actually ended up finding a gift card in my wallet. So I didn't technically actually spend any money. Like it was free money, it doesn't count because it was on a gift card. Let's do a mini book haul before we get into the rest of the reset. So the first book I picked up was Lucy Undying by Kirsten White. This is one of the books that I was intending to purchase today, and I'm really excited to read this one. This is definitely going to be going on my Vampathon TBR. I have already filmed my Vampathon TBR while I'm filming this, but just pretend that this was included, okay? Because I filmed that before I got my hands on this. So yes, very excited about this book. I don't know too much about it. I just know it is a gothic fantasy with vampires. It's a reimagining of Dracula. It says here, a vampire escapes the thrall of Dracula and embarks on her own search for self-discovery and true love. So I love the sound of that. This sounds like it's going to be such a good book, and I love anything that stems from like Dracula or Frankenstein or just like the gothic classics. So I think I'm going to love this book. I have read one of Kirsten White's other books and I didn't like it that much. It was the one that was the Arthurian like retelling. I can't remember the title, but it was very, very choppy and just not great. So I'm hoping that I enjoy this one a lot more, but this seems like a book I'm gonna love because, like I said, I love gothic fantasy and I love the fact that this stems off Dracula. So very, very excited about this one. And also this cover, like look how spooky this is in the hair. I love this cover. I am so excited to read this book, honestly. So that was one of the books. And then I got the newest Deborah Harkness book, The Blackbird Oracle. Now, I hadn't intended to pick this up just yet because I haven't finished reading A Discovery of Witches just yet, and I also really wanted to get the US edition because I just prefer their cover. However, how can I resist a signed copy? Like, I had to take this as soon as I saw it. So I'm so glad that I got this because a signed book by the queen of a witchy, dark academia vibe fantasy, I had to. So this one is set in the same world as A Discovery of Witches. It's part of like this series. So you have like the trilogy of A Discovery of Witches, and then you have The World of All Souls, which is like, it's not an actual book in the story, it's just like a companion thing that has information about like the world and the characters. So there is that, but then there's like a spin-off which is Times Convert, and then we have the Blackbird Oracle. Now, I actually don't know too much about this one. All it says here is that it sweeps back to the Salem panic and illuminates Diana's family history in new and thrilling ways. So this is obviously going into like Diana's ancestors and what happened with them. So like I said, I haven't really read into this one too much because I haven't finished the trilogy yet, and obviously I'm not going to read this one until I do. I do plan to continue the trilogy soon because I loved the first book. A Discovery of Witches is actually one of my all-time favourite books and one of my favourite witchy books. It was just such an enjoyable read. I love Diana Bishop as a character. I love the world and the magics in this world and the cast of characters. The reason that I stopped reading it is because I started book 2. And I don't want to give any spoilers, but book 2 is very, very historical. Like, it's a lot more historical fantasy than the first book is. And I'm not a huge fan of historical fantasy, and it was a little too historical for me. Like, at the time I was reading it, I was like, I can't quite wrap my head around this at the moment, so I'm going to put this down and come back to it, and then I just never did. And that's not because I wasn't enjoying it, I just wasn't in the right mood for it. And then since then I need to do a reread of Discovery Witches before I pick up the second book, so I do plan to do that eventually. And then when I catch up with all the books, I will read this one. But like I said, I couldn't not get this because it was signed, and having a signed copy of one of her books, I'm just so happy about that. I cannot wait to add this onto my shelf, and I'm just so happy that I found it. And then the last book I got is a super random one. I found this in the young adult section, and I'm not gonna lie, the reviews on Goodreads aren't great, but sometimes I will read a book and absolutely love it and then see the reviews and everyone else is like, this is awful, or just giving it like, you know, a solid 3 stars, like nothing special. And I was like, oh my god, I loved it, it was 5 stars for me. So I try to take reviews now and Goodreads ratings with a pinch of salt, because there's certain books as well where like I gave them 5 stars and they weren't like literary masterpieces, they were just fun, and for other people they were probably like the worst thing they've read. So I do try to not let that deter me from reading books too much. And I just fell for the cover, and then I read the back and I was like, I need to get this book, I just want to try it. And I love young adult books that aren't too long, and this one is just over 300 pages, and that's just like my sweet spot for me. Like, I love short books, so I had to pick this up. And I saw this at the back of the book, which it says, a mystical school, a mysterious death, and a magical romance. And I was like, yeah, yes to all 3 of those, yes. So I didn't read the full synopsis. All I know is it has trials, and I think the guy in here has always been in love with this girl, so he's like always been pining for her, and then it's like they have to do these trials together or something. There's a magical school, that's all I know. But the book is Draw Down in the Moon by PC Cast and Kristen Cast. So yeah, I have never read anything by either of these authors. I haven't really heard of them either, to be honest, but I'm excited to read this. Look at this cover. Like, it is so, so beautiful. I cannot wait to read this. I think it's going to be such a fun time. Most of the reviews were saying it reads like a very immature YA, but honestly, I don't really mind that if I know that going into it. So I don't think that's going to deter my enjoyment. And just like a magical school romance, and mystery and trials. It just sounds like a perfect recipe to me. Like, I am excited for this book, so I did decide to pick it up on a whim. But that is my little book haul. I think now we are gonna do some decorating, put up some more decorations here and there, and then I think tomorrow, because I'm going to continue this video on tomorrow as well, I might have a go at making those felt like bat bunting things, but I don't know for sure. Maybe, we shall see. But for now, we are going to go and put up some more decorations, and then we will choose my TBR for October, which I'm very, very excited to choose my reads for October. Like, oh, I just love this time of year so much. Like, it just makes my heart so happy, and I want to read so much more. I'm in so much more of a reading mood, and yeah, so we are going to pick my TBR shortly, but for now let's get to doing some more autumnal decorating. And I also just want to make my library a bit cozier, so I'm going to use these string lights and these little pegs to pin them along my black shelves so they don't have any lights on. And I think I'm going to pin some spooky tarot cards I have, because I have Nightmare Before Christmas tarot cards and I have Abigail Lawson, who does like really gothic like illustrations. I have like both of their tarot cards, so I think I might pin some of those on with the pegs onto these lights. But I hope these are long enough. I'm not actually sure if these are going to be long enough, but we're going to do this as well. And yeah, I guess let's get into the decorating. Okay, so I've put the little tarot cards up and I've put a few little pieces out in my library, but it has gotten really, really dark now. So I think I'm going to continue the reset tomorrow when there's like a better lighting. And yeah, just because it's like in the evening now, I'm tired and I want to go make some food. I'm going to continue the reset tomorrow. I am going to pick out my TBR, make my little Canva template. I also want to do like a little desk refresh, because that could do with like a clean and tidy, and put some like spooky things out there as well. So we are going to give my little office space a little refresh. And then I also want to do my October journal spreader, so that will be happening tomorrow. But I hope you guys are enjoying the reset so far, and I will catch up with you guys tomorrow to continue getting ready for October. Okay, so it is the next day and we're going to continue on with this reset. Now, for some reason, I've actually lost power to the top floor of my house, so I don't know what that's about. So I'm not going to put my TBR out just yet, because it is really dark, like in my library, even in the daytime, without like my fairy lights and stuff on. So I figured we would do my office refresh first, because I just want to tidy up a little bit, put a few little like spooky little bits of decor in there, and just like clean it and stuff. So I figured we could do that and do the autumn like watch list thing together, and then we will get into my TBR and then some journaling. So that is the plan, so I guess let's get to it. Okay, so I have refreshed my office and I thought it looked really cute. I love my new like little mat I have for my keyboard. I can't remember what the word is off the top of my head, what it's called. It's like a mat. It's inspired by Throne of Glass and I got it from my Fairy Loot box and I'm obsessed with it. I've had like my plain pink mat for so long and I just fancied something a bit different and I love it so much and I love that series so much, so I am obsessed with that. And I had some little bats to the wall and it just looks subtly spooky, so I'm really glad that I refreshed the space. But I'm not going to make my watch list thing now. I'm actually going to choose my TBR now. My power did come back on, so we have light. So yeah, I'm going to pick up my TBR and I'm so excited. I was going to do a TBR jar again for this one, but because it's my favourite month of the year and there are a lot of books that I do want to get that are spooky, I figured I would just like not do the TBR jar and just choose the ones I want. Now I am doing Vampathon at the end of the month, which is a readathon that I host. I think I've already mentioned it at the very beginning of this video, but I already have a separate TBR picked out for that and some of the books might like overlap and things like that. I'm also going to talk about buddy reads and reads that I'm carrying on from September into the month of October, but first let's pick out the books that I want to read. I'm so excited. Okay, so I am here now to talk you guys through my October TBR, which I'm so excited about. Now, as I always say, this is a tentative TBR because I am a mood reader to my core. So will I stray from this TBR? Very likely. Will I read all these books? Very unlikely. I probably won't get to all of these, especially before Vampathon, because some of these might end up as part of my Vampathon TBR, but generally probably not. So yes, we do have some continuations from September, and then some buddy reads, and then just some books that I just generally want to get to. So I guess let's start with the buddy read, which is Bring Me Your Midnight by Rachel Griffin. This is my Patreon pick for September and October. I do a bi-monthly book club over on Patreon, and there is a Discord channel for it where I discuss the book. I do a spoiler-filled reading vlog as well, so if you are interested in joining us, you can head to my Patreon. We will be reading this book in October, so it's not too late to join us, and we'll also be voting for the next bi-monthly book club pick. But I did start this at the very beginning of September, and then I kind of put a pause on it because I started reading other books for other vlogs, but I'm really excited to pick it back up again. I'm currently 8 chapters into it, so I'm not too far in, but I've just kind of reached a critical point where the plot is about to begin. Like, something's happened and I just know this is where things are going to start to get interesting. So I'm really excited to read this book. We're essentially following Tana, who is a witch. She lives on this little kind of like island almost, and then across the way is like the humans, and humans are aware of witches in this world, but there are still some who do not like witches, and there's definitely tensions brewing. And in order to kind of like broker peace between the humans and the witches, her parents have kind of set up this arranged kind of courtship with the mayor, I think, or the governor or someone of the human little place across the way, their son basically, and her. So they're in this like arranged courtship, but on the night that she's supposed to do this spell to dispel her magic into the ocean, she misses it and she meets this mysterious boy, and he ends up teaching her forbidden magic, and there's also forbidden romance. but is it really forbidden? That is the question. So I am very excited to read this. I love Rachel Griffin's writing. I've read The Nature of Witches and Wild as the Witch by this author before. I've done spoiler-filled reading vlogs for them both over my Patreon, and I really enjoyed them both. They're just so atmospheric and lyrical and just obviously very witchy, and I really enjoy her writing. So I'm very excited to continue reading this book, and yeah, the vlog will be going up on Patreon towards the end of the month, and I'm just so excited. I really like what I filmed for the vlog as well so far, so I'm excited to continue reading this, and I am reading it for a specific vlog right now as well as my Patreon one, so look out for that vlog soon because I really love that vlog too. But yeah, this is the buddy read for the month of October, and then I guess we'll start with some continuations on from September. So I'm not going to talk about these too much because some of them I have mentioned in like other videos and vlogs and stuff like that, but Twilight. I am currently reading this. I've put it on pause for a little bit, but I was having such a fun time with this. I was reading it in a readathon vlog, and I'm currently over 100 pages in, so around, I don't know what chapter this is, chapter 7. So these chapters are quite long, but I am just having such a fun time with this book. It is very nostalgic, and it's so fun drawing comparisons with the movie and the book. Like, I'm just having the funnest time. Is this a literary masterpiece? Absolutely not. But is it a really fun time? Yes, it is. It is so fun, and I'm just having the best time reading it. It's making me laugh, and I definitely do feel like Bella and Edward have so much more personality in the book, and they have really good banter. I wouldn't say chemistry, but they have like a good banter, which we don't really see in the movie, and I'm really enjoying that. And just like, I don't know, like just learning more lore, like more Twilight lore. It's just so fun. So yeah, I am just going to dip in and out of this throughout the month of October. I am just reading this slowly and having fun with it. So very excited to continue reading this one. Then we have another current read. Now this isn't actually the copy that I am reading at the moment, but I'm not too far into this. I'm also reading this for a vlog, which might be linked to the Rachel Griffin one. And this is Rewitched by Lucy Jane Wood. I was very lucky to have met Lucy, who signed my book, and I have started this book. I'm a little over 50 pages in, and I know this is going to become an all-time favourite because I feel so seen already. Like, I just feel like I am Belle, and her full name is Belladonna Blackthorn. I love that. So yeah, we have a cat in here, we have a witch, and we have witchy trials. And not only that, we also have a bookstore, and said witch works in the bookstore. So all the cozy autumn vibes are happening. This is set during the very end of September, the beginning of October, so the vibes are perfect. And this is a story about getting over like perfectionism, being okay with being average, friendships, family, romance, cozy fantasy vibes. Those are all the things that you can find in this book, and I'm having such a fun time reading it so far. And yeah, I am reading this for a vlog, so you guys will hear all my thoughts in that, but I know this is going to be an all-time favourite. I am loving it so much already. And then another book that I will be reading throughout October that I'm continuing on from September is Tales of a Monstrous Heart by Jennifer Delaney. Again, this is not the copy I'm currently reading. This is a second copy because I also got to meet Jennifer. And Jennifer is one of the nicest authors, as is Lucy, I have met, and very funny. So yeah, I am enjoying this one so far. I'm not too far in. This is a gothic fantasy. It is inspired by Jane Eyre. And we have fae in here, we have romance, we have mages, we have a magical school, and it is just so fun. Like, it is just such a fun time so far. I am just loving the main character. It gets straight into the action, and I haven't gotten to any romance yet, but I'm so excited to get there. And yeah, this is just a really fun one, and it's perfect for October because it's gothic. And now we move on to the other books on my TBR. So I have 5 books here to talk to you about. Now one is a reread, so I will start with that, which is The XX by Erin Sterling. This is my all-time favourite witchy read so far, but I feel like Rewitched is probably going to be taking that spot. But I love this. This is like a rom-com. It has Gilmore Girl vibes and just like really good 90s witchy vibes. Like, that's the best way to describe this book. The setting is very much Stars Hollow but making it witchy, and our main character, I just love her. She's so funny. And there is a talking cat named Sir Percival who has my heart. I adore this cat so much. This is just such a fun read. It's a second chance romance. We essentially have a witch who accidentally puts a hex on her ex, as the title would suggest. He comes back to town and things aren't too good between them because the last time she's seen him was 9 years ago when she had her heart broken and found out he actually had a fiance back home in Wales. But there's more to it, which she does find out, but still not good. And they basically are forced to work together because this hex she's accidentally put on him is causing a lot of problems, and it might have something to do with the fact that he is from like the founding family of this magical like town. So yeah, witch, mage, romance, second chance romance, talking cat. It's just such a good time. I would highly recommend this book. This is the perfect autumn read, the perfect witchy read if you want something fun, light-hearted, and just with the best vibes. I am so excited to give this a reread, and hopefully I actually do get to it and reread it, because I just had such a fun time with it the first time I read it, and I've been wanting to reread it for a while, so hopefully I do get to it. And then moving on to books that I haven't read before, nor have I started yet, we have Us in Ruins by Rachel Moore. So I have another Rachel Moore book on my Vampathon TBR, which is one with a haunted library, and it's basically a romance between this like girl and a ghost. So I'm excited for that one. This one I have no clue what it's about, but I just have a feeling I'm going to love Rachel Moore's writing, and this cover especially is stunning. I pre-ordered this ages ago and I've totally forgotten what it's about, so I think I will leave it that way, to be honest. So it says here it's romance and high stakes adventure. So I don't want to read into this one. I don't know why, I just kind of don't want to. Like, I've got nothing to say about it really, because I just don't remember anything about this book. But I am going to read her other book, and I probably will read this one as well because it's not too long and I love short fantasy books, and I'm just really intrigued, honestly. And I don't know why I want to read it, just for some reason I'm kind of drawn to it, and I'm putting it on my TBR for that reason. And this is very much going to be a book that we go into with like no thoughts, just vibes. So yeah, very excited for this one, even though I don't know what it's about. Okay, next is a sequel, which is Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig. I read One Dark Window last Vampathon, so a year ago now. Well, over a year ago. No, just under a year ago. And I really enjoyed it. I did a spoiler filled reading vlog for it because it was a book club pick of my patrons. So again, you can head to my Patreon if you want to watch that. But I really enjoyed it. It was a really fun read. It was very unique. The magic system was tied to tarot cards, or like some version of tarot cards, which I really liked. And our main character essentially has a monster in her head. Like, she's living with a monster essentially, and it is just so fun. The romance was good, the kind of mystery and the magic woven together. There's like a sentient kind of forest almost, and like really gothic vibes, and it was just such a fun time. And it's very kind of like, I don't want to say morally grey, but it's kind of giving like she is the villain vibes, and I just really enjoyed the first book, and I immediately ordered the paperback of the second book but then just didn't read it. But I just feel like maybe this October it could be fun to read, maybe even for Vampathon it could end up on that TBR. But I thought I'd put it on my TBR anyway because it would be really nice to read this and like complete the duology and finish it off, and I'm sure that I will love this. I've heard this book is amazing as well, and I'm just really excited to read it, and I feel like the perfect vibes for this time of year, like gothic fantasy. I just love it so much and I really want to read it, so I think I probably will get to this one, but we shall see. And then next we have a new release, which is The Dagger and the Flame by Catherine Doyle. This is enemies to lovers. It has assassins in it, and like the streets are cobblestone streets with gas lamps. That just sounds perfect. I love those kinds of settings. And on the back it says, in a deadly game of revenge, the most dangerous mistake of all is falling in love. I love the sound of that. And this is the stunning Fairy Loot edition as well. I am very excited to read this. It's an enemies to lovers romantasy, and it's giving Selena Sardathian and Sam Cortland. Like, look at them. I'm already obsessed with them, and I'm pretty sure the main character's name is Seraphine, and I love that name. So essentially we have two enemy guilds. One guild is assassins and one guild is thieves, and they control this like rare kind of like shadow magic, I think it is. I'm pretty sure it's like, oh, it's called shade magic. And then we have Seraphine, and on the night of her mother's murder, she ends up seeking sentry with the cloaks, and she's basically just out to get revenge essentially for her mother's death. She wants to know who killed her mother, why they killed her mother, and she has secret abilities, which I love. And then we have this boy who's following her around the city, and that is all I know. That's all I need to know. I need not know more, to be honest, because you have me at enemies to lovers romantasy, but the fact that this is just screaming Selena Sardathian and Sam Cortland, and I am sorry to compare it to another Sarah J Maas book, but I can't help it. Like, that is the vibes this gives me, and I cannot wait to read it. I am so excited. I just have such a good feeling about this one, and I love that her name is Seraphine, because that is one of my all-time favourite names. Like, I just love that name so much. So yeah, I feel like I'm gonna have a good time with this, and it has a knife to the throat scene if the cover is anything to go by, and you'll know I love a knife to the throat scene, so I'm very excited to read this one. And then the last book is one that I'm probably gonna listen to on audio, and that is Spells for Forgetting by Adrian Young. This has been on countless TBRs of mine. It is on my autumn TBR, and it's been on my last year's autumn TBR on Bambathon last year, and I'm just hoping I'm finally gonna read it. I know this is atmospheric. I know we have like a folklore kind of vibe, a small town where everyone knows everyone, and it's just filled with secrets and mystery. And basically our main character's ex comes back to town, and he was like, I want to say he was like convicted or either suspected of killing her best friend when they were in school. So there's that mystery element, and then there is a little bit of like a second chance romance. It's not like the main focus in here. So I am really excited to read this. It just sounds very, very kind of like atmospheric and lyrical, and I've heard very good things about Adrian Young's writing, and I really want to finally read a book by this author, and this just sounds very unique and really intriguing. So I am very excited to read it. And like I said, I'm probably gonna listen to this on audio, but we shall see. Maybe I'll physically read it. But I don't know, I feel like I had to put it on my TBR because it's the best time of year to read it. It would be like October, November, and I keep saying I'm going to read it and then I don't. And a lot of you guys said it was really, really good on my autumn TBR video. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we do read it this October. But that is my very, very big and ambitious October TBR, considering that, you know, a quarter of October is going to be dedicated to Vampathon. But I usually get more of a reading mood in October. Like, it's cold outside, I want to be cozy, and I just want to read all the spooky books. So hopefully we do get a good chunk of the way through this TBR. I'm really excited to continue on with some of these reads, to start some of them and just have a really fun time. And like I said, I am filming a couple of themed vlogs with some of these books, which I'm very excited about. So that is my TBR for the month of October, which now leaves us with doing the little fall watch list, and then I need to do my October journal spread. We're gonna get doing the fall little watch list, and then I'll probably do some journaling tomorrow, and I will film that for you guys and include it in this video. But yes, I am gonna go and stalk Pinterest to get some inspiration for movies and TV shows to watch during the cozy season during October. I'm so excited to just curl up in front of the TV and watch some spooky movies. I already have a few I want to watch, and then some that I just always watch, but I feel like I want to find something new, something I've not watched before. So I have a few things in mind, but Pinterest always gives me good inspiration. So that is the plan, and then we're going to make like a cute little thing on Canva, and then I'll probably print it out at some point and stick it in my journal. Probably not during this reset because I don't have a printer at home. It's currently broke, and I doubt I'll go to my parents' house and print it off before I finish like this video. So it won't go in the journal during this video, but you guys will see me making it. So yes, that's what we're gonna go do now, and then I will get to create my journal spread probably tomorrow, and then I will wrap up this video after we've done all that. Hi, so I am here to wrap up this reset video. I did end up doing my October spread, as you guys will have seen. My spreads are more of like scrapbooky because I'm not very good at drawing or like anything illustration wise, and I haven't really created like a reading spread for quite some time, so I'm still working on it, but I like how it turned out. I feel like it's cute. I'm definitely going to make a spread for Vampathon as well, so I'll probably do that in a reading vlog or something. But yeah, I did do that, and I made my little full watch list on Canva, so I do need to print that out and stick it in my journal at some point. I'm so happy with this reset. Everyone's decorated for autumn and Halloween. I have a really exciting TBR. I got some new exciting books, and all in all, I would say this was quite a successful reset. So I hope you guys did enjoy it. Let me know down below if you would like to see me do more of these resets. Should I do them as like a monthly thing or not? Like, I'm not too sure whether to. I'm not sure if people prefer this over like a sit down TBR kind of video, so let me know what you do prefer, and also do let me know what you're planning to read in October. I love hearing people's TBRs. It always gives me inspiration for my own TBRs, and I like chatting to you guys in the comments about the books that we're reading. So do let me know down below, and also let me know if you are participating in Vampathon this year. I'm so excited for Vampathon. We're going to have the best reading week. It's going to be such a good time. And yeah, leave a pumpkin emoji in the comments if you did make it to the end of this video. But I will have the link to the Vampathon playlist down below and anything else, along with the links to my Etsy store and the merch for Vampathon. You'll also be able to find a link to my Patreon, and that's where you're going to find early access to videos such as this one. You'll also find access to a monthly readathon. Now sometimes we do more than one a month. Like in September I think we did 3 or 4 readathons, so we do them quite often. We also do a bi-monthly book club, so basically we read a book every 2 months, so you get 2 months to read the book. We have a Discord where we discuss it. So for September and October we're reading Bring Me Your Midnight, so it's definitely not too late to join us, and I do film a spoiler filled reading vlog for that, so that will be up towards the end of the month. You'll also find access to exclusive videos such as hauls, book hauls, unboxings, homeware decor things, and day in the life vlogs, things like that, along with photos and lots of other things. Also worth mentioning, if you're a Supermoon patron, you do also get 10% off all of the Vampathon merch and bookmarks in my Etsy store, so do bear that in mind. But yes, that is my little shameless plug. Thank you so much to everyone over on my Patreon for your support, and thank you to you guys for your continued support on YouTube. I just feel very grateful to have this space. I'm really enjoying creating content again and just being creative. So yeah, I did want to say a huge thank you to all of you for your support and for watching this video. But that is everything from me. I hope you guys are all safe and well. I hope you're reading lots of spooky books, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!